At what age should young athletes stop playing rec ball and only focus on travel ball? This is a heated topic for a lot of parents. Let's get into this one. Raising athletes, the things that causes all dads to go bald and moms to buy minivans, empowering parents to help their kids succeed. I'm sure you heard someone say, or maybe actually you said it yourself, oh, my kid is way too good to play rec ball. Begs the question, at what point in time then is the right time to transition away from local town rec ball league, little league stuff, and just focus on travel ball? Is there a specific age? Is there a one size fits all, meaning that it doesn't matter the skill, it matters really just the age, right? So we're going to get into this discussion. We're going to have a healthy discussion here on this subject, because I know a lot of people are really, really passionate on when a child should stop playing travel ball. In fact, not only are they so passionate about it, but they actually look down on certain kids for playing rec ball. It means, then that kid cannot be good enough for travel ball if they're playing rec ball still. And so let's go ahead and let's dive deep. And let's first address the question, is there a difference in age when it comes to baseball and a softball? I'm going to say no, there isn't. I'm going to say if there's ever a universal rule that we can apply to this particular topic, that it's going to revolve around middle school. I'm going to say that across the board, if you were going to attach an age, I would say 8th grade. 8th grade is a really great age for kids to still be playing rec ball, little league, before maybe transitioning into just focusing into the travel ball circuit. Now, there are going to be exceptions to the rule. The exceptions to the rule might be is if your local league has a high school division that's competitive. Now, if you're still playing high school local town ball, it's likely that you're a decent athlete, because most kids determined that they skilled out or aged out a little bit earlier. So if you're still playing, that means you still love it, and you must be pretty good. And there aren't a lot of leagues that offer high school divisions for baseball or for softball. So I would say that would be that might be the exception to the rule that I'm saying. But we know that about 78% of kids, unfortunately, quit athletics after the age of 12. Now, this is the topic that I think contributes to the most to that particular statistic. I think it is horrible that so many kids are quitting sports after the age of 12. I think sports are a great vehicle for teaching a lot of important life lessons. We've already had a ton of conversations about this. And so by putting this stigma, this by convincing the community and families and kids that they should be quitting Little League rec ball and just focusing on travel ball after a young age, I think you're putting a lot of kids in the wrong basket, and they are quitting way too early. And because the reality is that not all kids are made for travel ball. Travel ball is supposed to be designed for a more highly competitive environment where the kids are trained a little bit more diligently. It's much more difficult. It's supposed to be much more competitive, and also there's more travel involved. There's other factors involved, and so that's some of the big differences between rec ball and travel ball. And so by saying, kids should be quitting kids should be quitting rec ball, by 4th or 5th grade, that's really unfair. You're now saying that there's nothing for kids who are older than 12, and we have to understand this is one of the reasons why around the country more than 78% of kids over the age of 12 are quitting sports. It's because we've put this pressure that they have to quit their local town leagues at a certain age, and there's now nothing for them. So we need to do a much better job of creating better expectations and creating more opportunities. Now, what are some of the advantages for allowing a child who might be skilled playing travel sports or baseball and softball to continue to play rec ball or little league past the age of 12 into middle school, through 8th grade? Well, here's another important stat, parents and coaches. We got to listen up to this, is that at each milestone, so we'll call it middle school sports, JV sports, varsity sports, college, and beyond. As you level up and get to each different level, there's a massive drop off in the kids that are able to actually play, that have the skills to compete at that level. So that's called skilling out. So life will skill out a kid based on those particular divisions. And that's just what happens. And it's a very large percentage. We've talked about it before. Only 1% of high school athletes. These are kids who've already now gone through all the steps. They've made it to varsity. Only 1% of high school varsity athletes get a full scholarship to Division I college. That's a very, very low number. Now, this is why I am an advocate of keeping kids playing their local town leagues up at the minimum until 8th grade, because you are forcing a decision on a child before the experience and skill has developed. And it's unfair for them to remove them an opportunity to play with their friends, have those memories that everyone else is getting, and maybe develop. Maybe there's someone who was a little bit of a late bloomer. They didn't develop maybe those skills and they needed a little bit more time. I think the pressure to say, nope, if you play rec ball, therefore you're not good enough for travel ball, I think that's something that we need to change. We need to change that particular dialogue that's happening in the community, and we need to support community sports, encourage families to get involved, and understanding that, number one, there's more to being a part of sports than the sport that you're learning. Okay, we have to be okay with that and understand, wow, valuable life lessons, leadership, discipline, playing well with others, learning how to lose, that's important too, maybe more important, right? So that's one thing we have to accept. And number two, we don't want to deprive our kids the incredible memories and experience of playing with their friends when they're younger, because life will determine when they're done playing the sport. We should not get in the way of that particular process. So I say personally, you should extend it to 8th grade. If your child is in 8th grade, even if they're playing competitive travel sports, they should still be encouraged. It's strongly encouraged to play in their local league. Now, my kids are now in high school, and I had all of them play up at least till 8th grade. Now my kids are in 9th grade. My son is still playing in his local town league. Has an opportunity to play with all of his friends. This is important, lasting memories. And guess what? Life is going to skill my son out eventually, but not right now because he's still playing sports with his friends in his local town league. My daughters as well. Now, my daughters are in 9th grade. My daughters play high competitive softball and volleyball at a very, very, very high level. But my kids also have a lot of friends that are not necessarily of that same skill set. They're not pursuing a life playing softball or volleyball, but they want to be able to play with those friends still in their local town league. Who am I to deprive of my daughters that opportunity to play with their friends because I'm going to be arrogant and say, no, my kids are not allowed to play. My kids are too good. Guess what? I was a very good baseball player. I was a prospect. I got a full scholarship to play Division I college baseball. I played Little League in East Meadow, and I played it for a while. I was on the Williamsport team. I played it through Pony. I played it Colts. I got to play with my friends. Now, not every one of those friends got to play college ball, but I did. And it also did not change my path of playing college ball. Now, I am so glad that my parents gave me the opportunity to still play with all my friends, because it's things that we still talk about as friends, playing together. So don't deprive of your kids through the arrogant statement of saying my kid is too good or it's going to make them bad. I need to see some scientific evidence that proves that playing with their friends in a local town league makes them bad. A great player will be great. A great player is disciplined and can be great in every single one of these environments. Even I'll take, for example, and I know I'm getting a little bit emotional here and a little bit heated, but let me take the example. Oh, my kid can't hit slow pitching. Well, then your kid is not as good as you think. This is just a statement of fact. You're not going to see the same type of pitcher throwing the same speed in the same location every single game at every level that they're going to play. They're going to face different pitchers in life. They're going to face pitchers that throw gas. They're going to face pitchers that have lots of wrinkles in their pitches and lots of and can spot balls all over the place. They're going to face pitchers even in college that are a little bit wild, that throw slower. That's just a matter of fact. To just say, oh, my kids are too good, or it's going to make them a bad softball player? How about it makes him a more disciplined softball player? How about value the other things that we can learn by enrolling them into local town leagues so that they can play with friends? Your community is a big part of helping your son and your daughter develop into incredibly successful individuals. We should not pull them away from those opportunities way too early. Now, remember earlier, I did say there are exceptions to the rule. 100%. There are exceptions to the rule. Some of the exceptions might be your local league does not provide high school sports. Well, if they don't provide high school sports, well, then there you go. Or maybe your son or daughter, after 8th grade, really does start to develop so far beyond. Now, there is also something to say for making sure that your son or daughter is playing in the skill that is appropriate for their particular skill level. All right. Now, let me qualify this because I know you're going to think like, wait a minute, I'm being a little hypocritical here. I'm not. I've been doing this a long time. I played, I've coached, I've been an executive director of a youth association for a long, long time. I've seen a lot of kids, thousands upon thousands of kids. The amount of kids that are so far beyond skilled than everyone else their age prior to the age of 10 is almost zero. Maybe 2 or 3 out of the thousands of kids. It is such a rarity because we're dealing with such minuscule numbers. That is not enough to make a blanket rule for everyone. So that's why up until a certain age, what I just said doesn't apply. It's unlikely that your skill as a child is so far advanced. Now, again, are there exceptions to the rules? Yes. So don't crucify me here. So absolutely, there are exceptions to the rule. And yes, you should be playing skill appropriate to the skill that you're playing, 100%. That mainly, though, comes into play when they're older, when they're a little bit older. That's why once they start hitting puberty, that's why I'm picking the 8th grade, because kids hit puberty at different ages. It could be anywhere from like 11 to 14 years old, and that's that time period, and it's perfect. After 8th grade, that's when you could start having that conversation if local rec ball team is good and appropriate for your child. Up until then, encourage your child to play in their local community sports. It is healthy for their growth. It is healthy even for their skills as a young athlete to do this. Don't deprive them of that opportunity, and don't just be so narrow-minded that you're just thinking about one thing like, oh, the skill of the athlete. Number one, that's not even true what you're thinking. You've been fed and you've drank the Kool-Aid, and it's no science to prove that. And number two, there's so many other, actually, it's the dominating reasons why there's value in sports for kids. Give your kid that opportunity, help them to learn, help them to grow as a human being, and give them the best chance of success in life, not just athletics. So my kids, again, play travel sports, and I'm hoping that they are on that path to play college and beyond, and we're focused on that. But I'm also focused on that I want my daughters and my son to be happy, passionate, good people, be with their friends, develop memories. But why can't I do both? Why can't I help them to become amazing athletes and also encourage them to make incredible memories with their friends? It's not one or the other. It's 100% both. Those two things live well together, and it creates a better overall experience for your child. Guys, thanks for tuning in to Raising Athletes. We are empowering parents. This is a community where we're growing together. I want to hear from you. I want to learn with you as well. So let me know, what are you thinking about your athletes? What are some great experiences that you have? Maybe you are new parents and you have a question about how to raise an amazing athlete. Listen, communicate, be a part of this conversation. This is the place to be. Raising Athletes. Take care, guys.